Chickies! So I am back filming in my dorm for you guys once again, as like the rest of my videos are going to be filming in my dorm. I really don't need to say that. Anyways, today I actually have my first FIT based video for you guys. I always get a lot of questions asking me to do videos based on FIT and like my experience here and like all different types of FIT videos. If you guys don't know what FIT is, it's my college, the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan. So today I figured I would talk to you guys about how I got accepted to FIT, because the way I got accepted was really wacky and different from everybody else. Typically, everybody else, you know, you just apply and they get the acceptance letter in the mail and like that's it. That's how you applied. That's how you got in. With me though, I was originally waitlisted from FIT, so I definitely have a little bit more of like a crazy story of how I actually got accepted and what I did, because it wasn't just as simple as waiting on the wait list and getting accepted. So I'm really excited to tell you guys today. I want to make sure that I literally get every bit of information, everything I remembered in. So if you guys ever see me looking down, I'm looking at my computer because I took some notes on things I want to talk about. But yeah, so this is my how I got accepted to FIT video, Fashion Institute of Technology. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a big thumbs up, stay subscribed to my channel, and follow me on my social media if you're not already. My username is BeautyChickee on literally everything: Twitter, Instagram, YouNow, Snapchat, you name it. But with all that being said, let's get started. So first I want to tell you guys a little bit about my particular student life and a little bit about me at FIT. So here's some things that you guys should know. I am currently a freshman here. I dorm on campus. There's 3 dorm buildings here, which is Alumni, Co-Ed, and Nagler, and I dorm here in one of the buildings. You guys will find out soon which one it is when I do my dorm tour. I'm a full-time student here, and I am an advertising and marketing communications major. Alright, next on my little list, I just have some things that you guys should know, just like in general, just like random things I figured I'd throw out there for you guys if you guys like planning on applying to FIT. So the first thing you guys should know is the top 3 majors to get into, the most competitive majors to get into, is FBM, which is Fashion Business Management, AMC, which is my major, Advertising, Marketing, Communications, and Fashion Design. That's what I believe the top ones are. If you're talking only the business field, which is what I'm in, it's definitely Fashion Business Management and Advertising, Marketing, Communications. Those are definitely the 2 higher ones. The major that's harder to get into out of those 2 is definitely FBM, but they're both like pretty competitive, so keep that in mind. The next thing I want to tell you guys is the acceptance rate for FIT. If you guys were wondering, Google is incorrect. They don't have their shit updated. So with further research, I was able to find out that fall 2016, the acceptance rate was 40%. And then I was like, you know what, that's fall 2016 though. I wanted to find out the acceptance rate for my year, which is fall 2017. So I actually called admissions and they said they weren't able to give me an exact number, but it was between 30 to 40% acceptance for this year. So yeah. All right, now I'm gonna tell you guys information about actually submitting your application when you want to apply to FIT, what you should do, or like just information that you guys should know for applying. So if you are a business student, if you want to go into the business field at FIT, which is what I am in, they will only look at your transcript, aka your grades, and your essay. If you're a design student, they will only look at your transcript, aka grades. They will look at your essay, and then in addition, they will look at your portfolio, because of course, if you're a design student, you gotta have a portfolio. So what I'm about to tell you guys, you may or may not know about FIT. I know when I applied, I had no idea about this. So like I said, when you apply to FIT, they look at your grades, aka your transcript, they look at your essay, and then if you're a design student, they look at your portfolio. That means that they do not look at anything else. It literally says on the FIT website that they do not look at resumes, they do not look at SAT or ACT scores, they do not look at, what else do they not look at? They don't look at teacher recommendations. Literally, they only base it off of your transcript, your essay, and if you're a design student, your portfolio, so keep that in mind. So as much as you have like all these amazing teacher recommendations, which I know I had a lot of them, I would still of course recommend getting teacher recommendations and, you know, doing a resume and stuff, because other colleges will look at that, but particularly for FIT, they don't, so yeah. And then also for what they're looking with your application, they do look at your grades and make sure that you have good grades and everything, but it's not all based off of the grades. I know people that have had like 2.0 GPAs and they still got in, and the reason being is because of the essay. Especially if you are a business student, guys, you need to woo them with your essay. The essay is the most important part of your application. It needs to be like really good. So definitely put your time and effort into your essay. Don't just do a one night, write the essay, done, submit thing. Like take your time to look over it, revise it, and make sure that you hit a bunch of different points in it. I'm gonna talk more about the essay and like what to include in your essay, or you know what I included in my essay and everything later on in the video, but that's just like a little pointer. And then of course you're a design design student, they look at your portfolio, so make sure you got a good portfolio. I can't really speak a lot for design students, and I don't really have, actually, I'm just kidding. One of my like best friends is a design student, duh. All my roommates are business students, so we can't really like speak for the design part of FIT. So this video is more kind of geared towards the business side. So I'm sure if you want to look up like on YouTube videos about going to the design field of FIT, that you'll probably find a lot. But yeah. Alright, the next thing I'm going to tell you guys is I'm going to read you my essay, and I'm going to tell you guys about my grades, my GPA, and all that for high school when I applied. Okay guys, so I have my high school transcript right in front of me, so I'm just going to read off some things to you guys and whatnot, and this is my transcript from when I first submitted it to FIT, so like, you know, the very beginning. I think this is my transcript from freshman year all the way up till senior year, but I think it was up till second or third quarter, maybe. I think second quarter, like it matters. Alright, so for 9th grade, my GPA was an 87. Oh, by the way, guys, my high school went by out of 100 for GPA, so you guys could do the conversions and stuff. But speaking out of 100, 9th grade I had an 87, 10th grade I had an 84, 11th grade I had a 90, and 12th grade I had a 94 GPA. So those are my GPAs per year. My total cumulative, I can't say that word, GPA was unweighted 87, weighted 91, which FIT looks at your unweighted GPA. I remember I called admissions when I was applying, and I'm pretty sure they said they only look at your unweighted. So mine was an 87, so that's that. So obviously I was like a pretty good student, but I didn't have like crazy good grades. Like I literally did not take an AP class while I was in college once. While I was in high school once. I did take some college-based classes, which guys, if you're in high school and you're interested, take college classes and get the credits for them. Trust me, they will transfer to FIT and you will not have to take certain classes. It is awesome. So that is it as for my transcript and my grades. So that just gives you guys an idea of like what it was for me. And then I wanted to read you guys my essay that I submitted to FIT, of course. Alright guys, so I'm going to read you my essay. Keep in mind that because I do YouTube and it's a big significant part of my life, I did write a lot about it, and mainly it was like the topic of my essay. So not everybody could use this like topic for their essay in a way, but whatever. Alright, so my essay went like this. Chow chow chickies, a catchphrase that I've used over 1,000 times. A little shy of 300,000 chickies, loyal, dedicated followers with the same passion for fashion as I have, look forward to this phrase twice a week as if it were their mother's goodnight kiss. Sorry, I'm gonna screw up so much while reading this. For the chickies, it's entertainment, it's inspiration, it's life. For me, it's not just my life, but my brand as well. I am BeautyChickee. I was 13 years old, alone in my room. The television didn't interest me, but the internet did. Like a window to the world, I saw opportunities that my friends who were too busy watching Hannah Montana and iCarly couldn't see. My parents made me conscious of the evils lurking beyond the computer screen, but this didn't stop me from pursuing a dream that kept me up every night, a dream that became my purpose. I created BeautyChickee. My love of fashion, cosmetics, and a zest for life while being the best me that I could be took on a life of its own as I experimented in front of the mirror and then boldly in front of the camera. It was time for the ultimate defiance. Contrary to my parents' approval, I developed a YouTube channel. In the beginning, things were slow. I practiced watch others, but had a relentless sense of urgency to be unique and put my own personal flair in every tutorial and fashion haul that I posted. I filmed at night, editing until 4 a.m. I slept from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Attended school until 2 p.m. and napped until 5 p.m. Film, edit, nap, school, repeat. 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers. It became time to develop the brand. I trademarked the name, developed a logo, and a merchandising line. 200,000 followers. Daily broadcast, creator events, social media promotion, 250,000 followers. And then came the hate. At this point, I had 18 million video views and over 300 videos on my channel. Walking the halls of my high school became a challenge. I'm not sure what fuels the animosity, jealousy, envy, or personal appeal. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that the success I have achieved at age 17 might very well exceed the life goals of my haters. This did not make me angry or hate in return. Instead, it further inflamed my hunger for success because I knew that what I have achieved came from countless hours of pursuing my goals and that the haters did not understand me. They did not understand fashion or this girl's uncontrollable desire to become iconic or at least significant within the industry she loves. I've been lucky enough to be raised by open-minded parents who are fashion and business conscious and who understand and have taught me the meaning of the famous Andy Warhol saying, famous for 15 minutes. I am also intelligent and realistic enough to understand that despite the success I am having with BeautyChickee at the moment, I need a career that will sustain me for life. My obvious passion for the fashion industry has brought me to FIT. I've been fortunate enough to have opened some doors in the field, particularly while attending conventions such as Generation Beauty, BeautyCon, IMATS, and Playlist Live. These doors have given me the opportunity opportunity to pick the brains of people in the industry who I respect and look up to and who have positions that I desire, such as public relations managers and marketing executives. As I talk with them, watch them from afar, and even become their client, I realize that this is what I want to do with my life. I want to make a significant difference in how a new product or designer, whether it's an eyeshadow, a pair of jeans, or some new unique fashion trend, explodes across the fashion industry. Then I want to be a part of the next huge trend. Born and raised in New York, unlike common Long Islanders, I love the city. New York City in the fashion district is only 15 miles from my home, and at age 17, I've probably taken the train ride many more times than most. I couldn't possibly consider any other institution to prepare me for my career in the fashion industry. With my current GPA at 91 and my irrepressible drive to excel, the Fashion Institute of Technology is the obvious choice for my career pursuit. So, that was my essay. Thought it was pretty good, and I think that I did make some faults in my essay that I'm going to talk about later in this video, so just keep watching to hear about that. But yeah, next topic. Alright, so the next topic I have here is how to apply and submit your essay. Honestly, when you apply, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I took down some like extra notes for you guys, so yeah. So the first thing you do is fill out the SUNY application. It's basically like the general application that you have to do if you're applying to any SUNY schools, which SUNY is State University of New York, and that is what FIT is. It is a SUNY school, so do the SUNY application. After you submit that, I believe it's like 7 to 10 days after that, you will get an email with a link, and that is where you submit your essay to. After that, make sure that your school sends out your transcript. Literally bug your guidance counselors, do whatever you need to make sure that FIT gets that transcript in time. Actually, when I was submitting my transcript got lost in the mail and FIT never got it, so I had to resend it to them because actually over the summer when I was applying, they had a fire in the basement and lost a lot of files, so yeah. Also, if you took an SAT or ACT score, definitely submit it to them. They do not actually look at your grades on your SAT or your ACT for your like application process. Like, they don't look at it, it doesn't matter. However, if you do get accepted, they use your SAT or ACT grades to place you in classes. They use it for placement for classes. And if you didn't take an SAT or ACT, it's not like a big deal or anything. You just have to go and take a placement test at FIT, which is a little more out of the way. So if you took one of those, definitely submit it. It'll be a lot easier. And also, make sure you call FIT and ask them if they got all of your materials in. Like, make sure to call them maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after you submit your transcript, and call the admissions office and be like, hey, I just wanted to confirm, did you get my transcript and everything? Because, you know, like I said, sometimes things get lost in the mail, especially here. So definitely call and check with them to make sure that they got it, because obviously you don't want any part of your application missing. Basically, after you do that, you just wait. I don't know if it's the same for fall 2018, but I know when I applied that you find out by April 1st. You find out either on April 1st or around April 1st, like at the end of March. I was about to say May. So yeah, it is quite the wait, because I mean, unless you submit in like January, then you're waiting less. But when I submitted mine, it was like the end of October, so I was literally waiting October to April, and it was complete torture. Especially FIT was my #1 choice. Like, I've always wanted to go here, so it was just very tedious, and oh my god, I'm like literally like moving around and getting like fidgety thinking of it, because it was just like so bad. Alright, so now that I got all that stuff out of the way, I want to tell you guys about my experience with my application and getting accepted, because my experience was definitely not a normal one, as I told you guys. So I think telling you guys my experience and how I got accepted will really be beneficial to you all. Especially if you get waitlisted like I did, then this will definitely help you out, because a lot of people, they'll just kind of like wait and like not take action when it comes to the waitlist, but I did. And so here we go. Here's how I got accepted to FIT. So first things first, I submitted everything. Like I said before, I submitted everything at the end of October, so I got my stuff in like at a pretty decent time, I'd say. And honestly, it does not matter when you submit your application. I think like the deadline is January 1st or January 4th or something. So it doesn't matter if you submit it like the first day the applications come out or the last day. Like, they're gonna look at everything the same, so it really does not matter. I submitted my essay and all my stuff in October, and I know people that literally submitted it like the last week of December, which I would have had a heart attack about. Try to get your stuff in early. Like, that's just my recommendation, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, if you decide to apply on like December 31st, then you'll be fine. So obviously after I submitted that, I waited to hear back in April, and in the meantime, actually, I do suggest doing this, guys. I went on Facebook and I found a bunch of pages for like FIT 2021 because 2021 is my graduating class for FIT. If you guys are applying this year, it would be FIT 2022. Yes, FIT 2022. But what I did is I went on Facebook, I found like a bunch of like those groups and everything, and I made a lot of friends through that, and there was also a lot of group chats, like a lot of like FIT 2021 group chats on GroupMe and stuff, so I downloaded the app and joined those, and I made a lot of friends through that even before I got accepted, so that way when I came here I like already had friends. So if you guys are looking for some friends and some people to like freak out and talk about FIT stuff too, then definitely join those. That's actually how I met my roommate Amanda, is we met through that because literally both of us got waitlisted at the exact same time and accepted at the exact same time. Then we just became friends and now she's my roommate. So now when I heard back, I heard back the end of March. It was before April 1st, but it wasn't like that like significantly early. By the way, guys, you'll know you're accepted by mail. They don't send you like an email or anything. I know that like all the other colleges I applied to, I found out through email, but FIT is traditional and you'll find out through the mail. So when I got my letter in the mail, I was so disappointed because the first thing that happened is I opened up my mailbox and there is a tiny envelope in it from FIT, so I was like, this can't be good. So I opened it up and the letter basically says that I was waitlisted. I could actually read you guys the letter that I got off the waitlist. So the waitlist letter says, Dear Christina, the admissions committee has carefully reviewed your application supporting materials for fall 2017 admission to the Advertising Marketing Communication 2-year Associate in Applied Science program. Whew. Based on the competitive nature of the applicant pool and the limited number of spaces available, we have placed your application on our waitlist. Please know that we will give your application every consideration as we determine which applicants can be removed from the waitlist, and then it talks about a bunch of other stuff. Long story short, I opened it up and I was like, all right, I got waitlisted. This is upsetting, but not as devastating as getting rejected. I cried a little bit, but I was like, you know what? This motivates me. Like, I didn't get just like flat out rejected. I got waitlisted, which means there's still a chance there. And so my motivation was just like, since there was a chance there, I just needed to prove myself to them. Like, hey, this is why I deserve to go to FIT. This is why I belong at FIT. Yeah. So basically, once you get waitlisted, it says in the letter that if you want to remain on the waitlist, you contact like this email address and you give them your FIT ID, and then you're just like, hey, like, I want to stay on the waitlist, and then that's really it. You're on the waitlist. So obviously I did that, but the mistake that a lot of people make is they just send the email off like saying I want to be on the waitlist, and then they don't do anything afterwards. They just sit there waiting for something to happen. Usually if you're just sitting around doing nothing, waiting for something to happen, nothing's gonna happen. So obviously waiting around was not the answer for me. I'm like, I want to get accepted. I'm going to do what I can to get accepted. So I was like, you know what, Christina, you're gonna take action. So I took action. So literally the day that I got the letter, I sent the email, and then right after I did a self-evaluation of my essay. Because I know that the essay is a big part of the application process, so I was like, you know what, let me reevaluate my essay and see if there's anything in here that I could have done better and that would have gotten me waitlisted, and then see how I could like fix that. So after reading my essay over, I came to a conclusion that I talked way too much about myself. Now, FIT likes to hear things like about yourself, like definitely hype yourself up in your essay, like write about yourself a lot, but what my issue was is that me talking about myself so much overpowered the concept of this is my major, this is why I want to go into my major, and that also is a big part of your essay. Like, you need to have a good balance between the two, and I think I went a little bit overboard with the accomplishments field and kind of like brought down like the major thing, which like you're going to the college in your major to study that major, so like why do you want to do that major? Like, what made you want to go into that major? So that was my fault. So yeah. So after coming to that conclusion, I decided to write a letter to FIT, and it was basically like a mini like second essay. So basically this letter that I wrote was to admissions, and it was literally just a letter talking about the major and the major only. Like, I barely talked about myself. I just talked about why I wanted to go into the major and why I selected that major, but like I really didn't mention like any like outside things about myself, because I was like, you know what, they got enough of that in the essay, let me talk about the major now. So now I will of course read you guys that letter that I wrote to them. So the letter says, Dear FIT admissions, I recently received a waitlist letter from the Fashion Institute of Technology, and I thought I should to write you to confirm my interest in attending your college starting in the fall 2017 semester. Thank you for considering me, and I assure you that I wait with high hopes of being able to attend. My choice of major is advertising, marketing, communications. Having worked so closely with public relations directors of companies such as YouTube, YouNow, Windsor, Spreadshirt, Ricky's NYC, Studio 71, Style Hall, and many others, I realized that my admiration for these managers/executives grew a passion inside of me to want to pursue this type of career. It excites me to think that as a graduate with an advertising and marketing communications degree, I could explore employment opportunities such as advertising account manager, brand manager, event planner, and publicist in the fashion industry. As a full-time student at FIT, I intend to work and study tirelessly and with focus, as I am extremely motivated to succeed. Having worked within the fashion and cosmetic industry through my YouTube channel, I've created my own brand and marketed it through social media networks with enough success to draw the interest of many cosmetic and fashion companies with whom I have done sponsorships and endorsements. Through the years of working with these companies, I've developed marketing skills through my own trials and the advice and direction of public relations directors, which has enabled me to promote products in a natural and successful way. These experiences have made me business savvy enough to make my brand a lucrative business. However, I look forward to expanding my knowledge of the areas of the fashion and cosmetic industry which could secure my future with an enduring career through the vital courses that the Fashion Institute of Technology has to offer. Once again, I would like to thank you for your consideration, and I anxiously hope that an acceptance letter from FIT is in my near future. Sincerely, Christina Harris. So after writing that letter, I was like, this letter is good, but in my mind, it wasn't enough. Most people don't even write a letter like that, or let alone do like anything, period. But for me, I was like, a letter isn't enough. I still need more to prove myself. So I decided that I wanted to make a press kit. And I have the press kit here to read to you guys, and I actually have the separated files in here also. I kept these together after I got accepted because I knew that I wanted to make this video for you guys. So yeah. So basically my press kit is like this big portfolio, and it just talks about all of my achievements, accomplishments, and just things that I think that FIT would want to look at that would help me get accepted. So I'm going to show you guys this portfolio. Some of the things in this blue one are missing. So I'm actually going to pull the files out of here and show to you guys, because this one is like all nice and like put together, and this is the actual one that I gave them. However, the files in there are like, some of them are like kind of missing because I had like some actual like documents in there that I needed to keep and like frame and stuff, so they're not all in there, but everything that was in this portfolio is in this folder right now, so I'm gonna read it to you guys. So basically I split things up by category. So the first page is called Introduction, and all this is inside of here is the letter that I wrote to FIT, which I'm not gonna show you guys because it has personal information on the top of the letter, and then the second page of it is the waitlist letter that I got, which I guess I could show you guys. No, I can't show you guys. The waitlist letter has personal information on it also, but just know that's what's in here. The second thing is academics. So the first thing I have in here is a congratulations for the National Technical Honor Society, and then I also have a letter from my school saying that they are congratulating me on getting into National Technical, which I can show you guys that too because that's some personal information. The next one is this certificate I got from Skills USA, and it was because of a hairstyling competition that I did. So I worked with Skills on a hairstyling competition, so that was cool. The next thing is my resume, which I could kind of show you guys. I just gotta block off the top. But this is what my resume looked like. It's not like pretty or anything, but it does have like a lot of information on it. So basically it says like my summary of like what I want to do, which was achieve that degree. It has my work experience on it, which is just YouTube, my volunteer service, extracurricular activities that I have done, academic achievements, and additional information. And then the next page, I have my grades for each quarter. Could I show you guys this? Yes, I could show you this. So this is for each quarter in my senior year. And then the last page of this I can't show you guys, but this is my transcript, which I already read to you guys. I'm not going to show it to you though, because once again, it has some personal information on it. So yeah, I promise not everything in here has personal information on it, so you guys are going to see some of the things. So yeah, so that was basically that. And then the next section I did was letters of recommendation. But here's the thing, guys. When you apply to FIT, they only look at your essay and your grades, but they never said anything about not looking at recommendation letters and all that stuff after you applied. So I was like, I'm gonna use that and see what happens, and they ended up reading them. So yeah. So here are my letters of recommendation in this little thing right here. So these I can't show you guys either because it has like my school like a logo thing at the top. So yeah. But basically all the recommendation letters I have in here is I have a recommendation from my principal, I have a recommendation from my guidance counselor, from my 11th grade English teacher, from my, Michelle. This is my what is it called, my work-based learning teacher, my 12th grade English teacher, my 12th grade math teacher, and then my cosmetology teacher. So yeah. So I had a lot of recommendation letters. A lot of teachers liked me in high school, so yeah. Alright, so the next section is acceptances and scholarships. So this is basically my acceptances from other colleges and the scholarships that I got from other colleges. I just banged my funny bone. Oh my god. So before I show you guys this, the other colleges I applied to besides FIT was LIM, PACE, and then LIU Brooklyn. And I got accepted to every single one of them with scholarships, which was awesome. And then FIT just wants to mess up the trend and get me waitlisted, but it's okay because I'm here now. Anyways, next thing, let me just try to fold this over because once again, personal information. So right here is my acceptance letter to LIM, which I got a pretty hefty scholarship for also, which was nice. And then the next page of that is another letter from LIM notifying me that I got an extra scholarship. The next page is my acceptance letter to PACE, and it also says the scholarship that I got from PACE on there. And then the last one is my acceptance letter from LIU Brooklyn, and also it has a scholarship on there as well. I have to fold over the tops because it has like my shipping information on it and whatnot, so can't show you guys that. But yeah, that was that. Alright, so what's next? What's next? The next is the BeautyChickee brand. It literally says BeautyChickee brand right on it. So the BeautyChickee brand is me. BeautyChickee, that's me. But basically this is all about like my branding and stuff, and I thought that I would show them this because it really shows off my advertising and marketing skills, because like it just does. There's a lot of YouTube and like managing a YouTube channel, especially like a pretty successful one. Like I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I think I have a pretty successful channel. A lot of it is about advertising yourself properly and marketing and like all that type of stuff. There's a lot of business that goes into it, so I figured I'd show off my business skills to them with my brand. So the first page of this, I just have to cover some information right here. So this right here is my trademark letter. Yes, I got the name BeautyChickee trademarked, so that's just my trademark certificate. Next page is the BeautyChickee logo development, and so this is how I developed the BeautyChickee logo that you guys see. It pops up on every video at the corner of the screen, you know, click on it and subscribe. But yeah, so this is how I developed the BeautyChickee logo. It just has like that, and then I put it into cartoon and everything, rendered it, did like a bunch of different shit, and then final BeautyChickee logo. Next page is the actual finalized logo, the white version and the black version with the actual BeautyChickee name on it. The next page is the current BeautyChickee merchandise line, which this is actually changing very, very soon, but this is what it was as of now. And I'm a design student, so I wasn't like assuming for them to like look at it and be like, oh my god, like it's just like a logo on a shirt. Like I was mainly showing the merchandise line to show like how I market myself. Like, you know, like people wear my merchandise and they walk out and that's advertising themselves. I said marketing before, I meant advertising. But yeah, people buy the shirts, they walk outside, they're wearing a shirt with a big BeautyChickee logo on it. That's a huge advertisement for me, so yeah. The next page of this is my, what is this? This is my letter from YouTube when I hit 100,000 subscribers, and then after this is a picture of my 100,000 subscriber plaque. After this is a screenshot of my YouTube channel at that moment, so when I submitted this to them, I had 311,000 subscribers, and I just like highlighted like my views and like all that stuff. And then the next page, or actually the last couple pages, is collaborations, sponsorships, PR, which is basically all the companies that I've ever worked with. I literally went through my videos, went through my like history of things, and listed out every company that I've ever worked with. And the ones that are highlighted are the ones that are like most recognizable that they would know, like Fashion Nova, Roy & Lane Nickel, Maybelline, Soap and Glory, and Makeup Forever, like those types of ones. So that is what is in the BeautyChickee brand. And then the last thing here is cosmetology, and obviously you guys know for the past 2 years I was a cosmetology student, so I thought it was just an extra cool thing to include in there because it shows like a lot of like, I don't know, just some accomplishments I've done with cosmetology and like my artistic abilities in a way. Yeah, it was just something cool that I thought I would put in, and yeah. So cosmetology, so basically the first couple pages is just like collages of like things I've done in Cosmo. So I have pictures of makeup I've done, hair I've done, some special effects stuff that I've done, some like typical things like finger waves and stuff. This is transformations of hair that I've done, so I took this, made it into that, this, made it into that. And then this page is just pictures of me and my cosmetology class because we're fresh. And then the next page is New York Fashion Week. This is when I worked New York Fashion Week, I thought this was really cool to involve because you know my school is the Fashion Institute of Technology. We do a lot of things here for Fashion Week, so that's that. And then over here, this was from Newsday. They put an article about Fashion Week in it, and I'm literally the front page photo, so that's that. And then I have the certificate that I won from NYIB for Fashion Week. So I can't show you guys this next page, but it's basically a photocopy of my temporary cosmetology license, because when I went to admissions and showed them this whole thing, which I'll get into that in a little bit too, but when I went and showed this to them, I didn't have my full license yet. Now I do have a full license in cosmetology, which is awesome, but I thought I'd throw the temporary one in here just in case. The page after that is a certificate. This is my certification for airbrush makeup. And then the last couple pages are just certifications in color academies that I've done. So it's just like Goldwell Color Academy things that I've done. It's just like some cool certificates from that. And is that it? And then the very last page, I can't show you guys it because it has school stuff on it again, but it's basically just a letter that my teacher wrote that says I am like successful, like I successfully passed my chemical test in cosmetology and that I can now use like hair colors and stuff. So I thought that was good because it shows like, you know, because like in order to go and buy color and everything, like while as a cosmetology student you have to pass the test, so it just shows that like I can do that. So that is everything that was inside of this portfolio, and yeah, moving on. So literally I put my hard work and effort into this portfolio. I worked on it for the 5 days after I got waitlisted. Literally the second I found out I got waitlisted, I just like had this idea and I was like, I'm gonna pursue that. I put this together within 5 days and I actually made 2 of them. I made one of them that has all like the actual copies of things in it. What I mean by actual copies was like certificates that I've gotten and stuff, because like I didn't want like FIT to keep my real certificates of things like my trademark certificate and stuff. Like they can't keep the actual thing, so I made one that has the actual one in it for me to keep, and then I made another portfolio with everything the exact same in it except it was photocopied version so that FIT could keep it. So literally 5 days after receiving the waitlist letter and putting together the portfolios, I got out of school one day, got dressed up nice, and went into the city and went to speak to FIT admissions. So basically I just walked into the admissions office, and actually on the waitlist letter it says that if you want to talk to somebody for admissions you can. You don't even need an appointment, you just like walk in. So I literally just walked in. I was like, hey, I got waitlisted, I'd like to speak to an admissions counselor, and the guy at the front desk was like, of course, and set me up with this guy. He took me into his office, and then yeah. So I cannot say the name of the people that I spoke to at FIT because that's just an invasion of personal space. Basically when I went in, I talked to him. He's like, hello, what can I do for you? And I basically just expressed my desire to go to FIT to this man. And then after that I gave him the photocopied portfolio, and then I had the actual one, and I went through the entire portfolio, or press kit, which is what I like to call it. I don't know why I'm saying portfolio, it's a press kit. Anyways, we went through the entire press kit together, and I read him everything, and like certain things I like explained to him more about, and just like, you know, that type of thing. So basically at the end of our little meeting, he literally told me that he thinks that I'm a great fit for FIT and I'm the type of student that they want there. And then he also said that he would give my portfolio to the head of admissions, and yeah. So basically after that, I just thanked him for his time, left admissions, and then that was that. I was like, I really can't do anything right now, so yeah. So after that, I went home, and about a week and a half passed by, and I didn't hear anything from them, and I'm a very impatient person, and I wanted to actually make sure that the head of admissions literally got that press kit, because if the head of admissions didn't get the press kit and this guy lied to me, I would have been so salty. So basically, I decided to take action again. I'm a big believer in the quote called, not the quote called, there's just the quote. It goes, how does it go? The squeaky wheel gets the oil, which basically means like the person that keeps like trying and stuff like that will like eventually succeed. So that's what my like thing was for this. Like my dad was like, you might not want to annoy them. I was like, Dad, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, don't worry about it. But yeah, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take action again. Literally like a week and a half, 2 weeks after I went to admissions, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. So after doing a crap ton of research with my dad, we found out who the head of admissions was. So after finding that out and finding contact information, I called FIT again, and I asked to specifically speak to the head of admissions, and I gave them the name and everything so they knew I was legit and I knew exactly who it was. And so they were like, all right, no problem, put me on the phone with her. So while I was talking on the phone with her, she actually notified me that after I left admissions the 2 weeks prior, that they moved me to priority waitlist. And then she told me that she knew exactly who I was, because literally right after I left the office, the guy that I spoke to went into her office, gave her the portfolio, and told her about me. So I was like, wow, wow, this guy actually stuck by his word. How nice of him. What a great guy. Love that guy. I've literally never seen him ever again in the school since that day, but love that guy. But basically we talked on the phone for a little bit and she gave me some really good advice, and she also kind of like told me about other options just in case I don't get into FIT. She was just telling me like just in case like you don't get accepted off the wait list, she was just like saying like here are some other options you could do. Originally she recommended community college to me. Go to community college for a year and then transfer, but I told her that I didn't want to go to community college, so she said to go to Hunter College, which is another college in the city, go there, get an accelerated associate's degree, which is a 1-year program, and then transfer to FIT after that. So after a successful phone call with her, I wasn't done. So I got off the phone with her and I sat and I was just talking to my dad about it, and then my dad's like, you know what? Let's go talk to her in person. And I was like, that is a wonderful idea. My dad was like, I'm off from work tomorrow. What are you doing after school? I was like, absolutely nothing. I get out of school at 12:20. Let's go. So literally the day after we spoke to her on the phone, I get out of school, went home, changed, me and my dad went to the train station and we went into the city. So basically we just roll up to admissions, walk in admissions, and I asked to specifically speak to the woman I was on the phone with, which they said no problem. The woman came out, she got me and my dad, brought her into her office and was basically like, hello, how can I help you? Basically I just told her, I was like, hey, like I thought that the phone call that we had yesterday was like great and wonderful and everything, but I just really wanted to show her like how dedicated I was to the school, and I thought that coming in person and just really getting a sense of like who I was would really help her and everything. So I literally told her that. I was like, that's my reasoning, like why I'm here. I just think that speaking to you in person is a total different atmosphere than just speaking to you through the phone. Like you're actually in person with me, sitting right in front of me. You get to see who I am, see what I'm like, and I think it just helps. So basically after that, we ended up having a really great conversation about FIT. We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about liberals that you take here. We talked about some things that the school does. Of course, we talked about waitlist, acceptance, like all that stuff. We talked about FIT Korea because FIT does have a new campus in Korea. We weren't talking about me going to it because I didn't want to go to the Korean campus, but we were just talking about it in general and like how cool it was and everything. And actually, as we were talking about like certain topics, we had some laughs and like we were making jokes about like certain things and everything. And that was like really, really good that like that happened, because I feel like anytime you can make somebody laugh, especially somebody that is like important to you, that like you need to impress, I feel like giving them a good laugh is like something that you need sometimes. I sound like I was out to like dinner with her. Like, you know, we got dinner, we had some laughs, some wine, you know. It wasn't like that though. It was just in like a little office and we just like had some laughs. So basically by the end of our conversation, she told me that she thought that I was the perfect fit for FIT and that she wanted me there, but she was gonna try her best and see what happens. She was like, I can't guarantee you that you'll get accepted, but I'm rooting for you basically. So after that, me and my dad left admissions and we were like, hey, we think that went really well. Let's get some food now because we were hungry. So we walked down to meatpacking and we went into this little pub like bar thing. It was like one of those like bar and grill places. So basically we sit down to eat, and because of YouTube, I check my emails very frequently. Like I have my emails linked to my phone, of course, so I'm always constantly refreshing my emails because I get a lot of business things that I need to reply to and like all this different stuff. So I constantly check my emails. Like it's like weird, like a lot of people like constantly check their messages, but with me, like I'm constantly refreshing my emails. So you know, we're sitting down literally like 5 minutes into dinner and I pick up my phone. I'm like, oh, let me check my emails as usual, and I click on it, refresh it, and it said that I got an email from the head of admissions, from the woman from admissions. So literally life just like froze for a minute and I was like, what is this? So I clicked on the email, and guys, I'm going to read you exactly what that email said. So the email was from the lady that I spoke to. It says, good news, Christina. We'll be seeing you in the fall at FIT. Your letter should be generated tomorrow and will arrive by US mail, likely early by next week. Congratulations. Sincerely yours. And then her name. So my world just stopped. I looked at it for a minute and then I just jumped up from my seat at dinner with my dad and I just screamed. I was like, I got it! My dad's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I got it! And then I showed him the email and he was like, oh my god! We just, I don't even know, we started like screaming and jumping and rejoicing, high-fiving across the table. Literally everybody in this pub probably thought we were like insane. So that was basically that, and then after that we're like, oh my god, we gotta go celebrate. So we went to Milk and Cookies, which is this really, really good sandwich place. Not sandwich, really good cookie sandwich place. So we went there to celebrate and then went home, and literally a couple days later in the mail I got my acceptance letter, which I actually don't have with me. If you guys want though, I'll insert like a picture right here of like me holding holding it up. This was literally like the day I got accepted. I took this picture with it, and I'm sure you guys have seen, like, if you look on my Instagram, there's like another picture of me with it, which I'll put up there also. So yeah. So basically, guys, that is my crazy story. I was accepted, and now I am here. I am dorming here, and I'm going here as a full-time student. So yeah. So basically, I'm going to summarize this whole video for you all. Basically, if you are waitlisted from FIT or any school, basically, do not just sit around. Take action. If you're really that passionate about going to that school, don't just sit on your ass and wait for something to happen. Take action. Make something happen. I'm not saying that you have to do exactly what I did, because what I did, I will admit, is pretty extreme. But even if you take actions, give admissions a call, express your interest to them, that it's really gonna just boost you up there, and your chances of getting accepted will be a lot more. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys have any more questions relating to like application, like all that stuff, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. I usually reply to comments, so if you guys have any other questions, I'll make sure to reply to you when I can. But anyways, that is all for the video, so let's move on to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, stay subscribed to my channel, and follow me on all my social media if you are not already. BeautyChickee on everything. Also, if you guys want to check out my vlog channel or my latest vlog, it is linked on the screen, so make sure to click those. But with that being said, I'm going to go. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and yeah, so with all that being said, ciao ciao chickies. Mwah.